are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree? This is co-creating at its best. You will feel it as we move along through the days that we are together. Because who you are is always expanding and evolving and changing. But these days on these seas will surprise and delight you in new ways. New environments give you a new perspective. And new perspectives cause new desires, because new perspectives almost always contain new contrast. So as new desires happen within you, and your vibrational reality expands as a result of it, your asking expands as a result of it, your summoning of answers and solutions happens. And then, when you are in the receiving mode, then you get to feel the expansion actually happening within your being. It's a visceral experience. It's a feeling experience as new energies move through you in new ways because you've asked new questions and you found a new level of letting it in. And as a result, you're going to feel real good. And as another result, you will feel the momentum of your experience picking up. And as another result, you will see manifestations, some of them that may have felt log-jammed or stifled or slowed down, will begin to pick up speed, and you will be a physical witness to your own deliberate creating. And there is not anything that is better than that. You are source energy beings in these magnificent bodies that you usually don't know that you are, and you usually don't act like you are. You usually behave like humans, thinking that you are cut off from that source when you are not. Sometimes thinking that source is not hearing you when it always is. And so, as we are moving forward in these hours and days that we will share together, it is our expectation that you will find a new level of appreciating yourself, that you will come to realize the perfection, not the finished perfection, but the current perfection of who you are. You're going to discover a way to more effectively and more consciously strike a balance between who you are in your physical body and who you are as non-physical energies, because you are both, you see, you know? You are both. You are an extension of source energy, but you are not an extension that is separated from that source energy. You are an extension of that source energy. And that source energy is flowing to you and through you. It is a part of you. So you, pioneers that you are, out here on this leading edge, you are exploring and examining and coming to new understandings of what you personally desire, just like you knew you would. As that desire hatches within you, you begin a whole new summoning process, because, after all, you live in a universe that is based upon attraction. And so, as you find something new that you are asking for, you begin a summoning process that feels different to you. And it feels different to you depending upon what your belief factor is in relationship to what you are newly summoning. Once you get practiced at this, and once you understand that you can be or do or have anything that you desire, then when you summon, you automatically allow, because your belief is right there. You know who you are, and you expect good things to come, and you know the power of your own mind, and you know the laws of the universe, and you expect source energy to reply to you, and you expect, through your own power of attraction, you expect to get the things that you are asking for. And in an environment like this, where there is so much that puts you in a place of ease and feeling good, not everything, you'll still have contrast. In fact, in some cases, maybe even more contrast, because it is new to you. But as you settle in to realizing that all things wanted are being answered, and you stand more and more in an expectation of witnessing the evolution of your desire. Oh, those are really good words that Esther found in response to our vibrational offering. You will witness the evolution of your own desire. And it's so important that you understand that when you ask, it is given. But there is a balancing act that you are accomplishing, because it's not just asking with words, and it's not just asking with life experience. It's contouring your expectation so that you let what you have asked for in, which means so that you find yourself in a place where you are perceptually aware of what's going on around you, but even more, you are viscerally aware of what you are doing vibrationally. You figured out, and we'll talk about it, how to balance the energy between your desire and your belief. Because if you desire something that you doubt, there's no balancing going on. If you desire something that you are annoyed because it has not yet come, there's no balance in your vibration. And so the attraction that you are about is a lopsided. Only half of it is you want it, but you don't believe it. So if you want something that you don't believe, you're calling it and pushing it away at the same time. That's what causes stress and tension. That's what every negative emotion is about. In these days that we are together, it is our desire that you figure out, and we'll talk until you do, that you figure out how to balance your desire and your belief.
Wow!
Of what you're asking. So that you come to realize consciously that you are a powerful creator here with magnificent intent and purpose, with so many resources at your fingertips, and so much non-dual flowing to you. Sometimes, like, you have your shield, a sort of umbrella of sorts that is keeping you from receiving the very thing you're asking for. Sometimes you think that when you ask for it, that it should just drop right into your experience. I want a boom baby. And we say, not as much fun in that.
Oh, yeah.
You just think that there is fun in that because you have been annoyed at the long lag time between asking and receiving. But you do not have to develop patience once you get the hang of this. Instead, you will find yourself enjoying the unfolding of your desire. You'll find yourself enjoying witnessing your receptivity, witnessing your receiving the thought, witnessing receiving an impulse, witnessing being wise enough to follow that impulse, and then witnessing a positive result of following that impulse. You're going to feel like you have your own hands in your own clay, because you do. But you're going to be pleased with what you are molding. You're going to be pleased, yes, with the outcome. Yes, with the physical manifestation. Yes, that is sure to come. We're not trying to talk you out of your physical manifestations, but we want to talk you into a happy journey along the way. We want you to feel the exhilaration of being ready, to be ready, to be ready, to be ready, to be ready. And we want you to revel in your newfound everyday capacity to be ready for more. We want you to realize that anything you desire is already coming to you. Attraction is what this is all about. Attraction, there is no assertion. But you see, a really wonderful thing is happening for you. A really, really, really wonderful thing is happening for you. Such a wonderful thing is happening for you. Because you are here in these bodies, but you're not here only as you, as your human self. Your inner being, your source energy is here with you, flowing to you and through you, and is a big part. We want you to hear this. We've not said this to you before, but it's time for you to know this, to understand this, and to expect good things as a result of your knowing of it. Your inner being has a point of attraction too. Your inner being has a point of attraction too. And while your inner being cannot throw something to you, your inner being cannot assert something into your experience, when you ask for it, your inner being, who is a part of you, can hold the knowing of what you're asking for in such clear awareness awareness that your point of attraction becomes more vivid and more powerful because you have asked. Do you get that? Did you hear what we just said? So now what that means is, now that you've asked and your inner being is holding vibrational awareness of what you want, and law of attraction is responding to the attraction that your inner being has going on, now a really interesting thing is happening to you. Because you're summoning, and your inner being is summoning too, but you have your own free will of your own free thoughts, and you can think thoughts that block that if you choose to. Now, most of you would say, I would never do that, even though you do it every day, because every subject is really two subjects. And sometimes you think you're thinking about the money that you desire when you're focused upon not enough of it. Or you think about the lover that you are summoning, but you're focused upon the absence of that lover. In other words, sometimes you are thinking thoughts, human adorable, human you, you're thinking thoughts that are vibrationally inconsistent or vibrationally resistant to what you have asked for and what is being summoned to you by that larger part of you. You understand that in a new way just now, don't you? Don't you? We can start over. So now your inner being is on the case. Now your inner being is holding vibrational accord with what you're asking for. And now your work is so simple. Your work is just to think thoughts that match the desire rather than its absence. To say words that match the desire rather than its absence. To tell the story of what you are creating rather than the story of the reason of why you are creating it. As you stand in justification of why you need that, you block it. And every time you block it, you ask for it in a stronger way. So the point of attraction of your inner being summons energy to it more, but if you block it, you feel worse and worse. And a sort of tension sets up within you that you describe as negative emotion. Negative emotion is your clue or your key that you are doing what we just described. Because it is always true. When you ask, it is always given. When you ask, it is always given. The question that we want you to discover the answer to in the days that we are together is that when you ask and it is given, what are you doing about it? Are you receiving it? Or are you blocking it with your awareness of the current reality that doesn't contain it? That's what trips you up the most, you know. You're focused upon what you think is what is. So if you ask for something that you think isn't, and your awareness is that it isn't rather than it is, as you focus upon the isn't-ness of what we know as the is-ness, then you block it. You don't let it come. And then you complain. This isn't working for me, when it is. It always is. So, as a result of our time together, you'll do less of that from now on. It really helps to understand the laws of the universe. It really helps to know that law of attraction is responding to your thought. Law of attraction is responding to you. You get what you think about, whether you want it or not. You strike balance sometimes with things you don't even want, just by giving so much attention to them. So, as a result of our time together, you're going to be clearer about who you are. And as a result of every day's life adventure, you're going to become clearer about what you prefer. And as you integrate your knowledge of the laws of the universe with your personal desires that are born from your magnificent journey in this life experience, then the perfect co-creative experience ensues. And we are eager about what you're living. We are eager about what's coming to you and through you. We appreciate more than you can hear with these words your willingness to participate not just in this gathering, but in the gathering of life experience. Such a nice thing to be on the leading edge, where all that is is flowing forward into new experience. We want you to feel all of us here with you. We've got you outnumbered. And we want you to relax in the knowledge that life is supposed to be good to you. Life is supposed to be fun for you. It'll be nice as you return moment by moment by moment to your conscious awareness of your own worthiness. Good afternoon. We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree? This is co-creating at its best. You will feel it as we move along through the days that we are together. Because who you are is always expanding and evolving and changing. But these days on these seas will surprise and delight you in new ways. New environments give you a new perspective. And new perspectives cause new desires, because new perspectives almost always contain new contrast. So as new desires happen within you, and your vibrational reality expands as a result of it, your asking expands as a result of it, your summoning of answers and solutions happens. And then, when you are in the receiving mode, then you get to feel the expansion actually happening within your being. It's a visceral experience. It's a feeling experience as new energies move through you in new ways because you've asked new questions and you found a new level of letting it in. And as a result, you're going to feel real good. And as another result, you will feel the momentum of your experience picking up. And as another result, you will see manifestations, some of them that may have felt log-jammed or stifled or slowed down, will begin to pick up speed, and you will be a physical witness to your own deliberate creating. And there is not anything that is better than that. You are source energy beings in these magnificent bodies, but you usually don't know that you are, and you usually don't act like you are. You usually behave like humans, thinking that you are cut off from that source when you are not. Sometimes thinking that source is not hearing you when it always is. And so, as we are moving forward in these hours and days that we will share together, it is our expectation that you will find a new level of appreciating yourself, that you will come to realize the perfection, not the finished perfection, but the current perfection of who you are. You're going to discover a way to more effectively and more consciously strike a balance between who you are in your physical body and who you are as non-physical energies, because you are both, you see, you know? You are both. You are an extension of source energy, but you are not an extension that is separated from that source energy. You are an extension of that source energy. And that source energy is flowing to you and through you. It is a part of you. So you, pioneers that you are, out here on this leading edge, you are exploring and examining and coming to new understandings of what you personally desire, just like you would. As that desire hatches within you, you begin a whole new summoning process, because, after all, you live in a universe that is based upon attraction. And so, as you find something new that you are asking for, you begin a summoning process that feels different to you. And it feels different to you depending upon what your belief as in relationship to what you are doing summoning. Once you get practiced at this, and once you understand that you can be or do or have anything you desire, then when you summon, you automatically allow, because your belief is right there. You know who you are, and you expect good things to come, and you know the power of your own mind, and you know the laws of the universe, and you expect source energy to reply to you, and you expect, through your own power of attraction, you expect to get the things that you are asking for. And in an environment like this, where there is so much that puts you in a place of ease and feeling good, not everything, you'll still have contrast. In fact, in some cases, maybe even more contrast because it is new to you. But as you settle in to realizing that all things wanted are being answered, and you stand more and more in an expectation of witnessing the evolution of your desire. Oh, those are really good words that Esther found in response to our vibrational offering. You will witness the evolution of your own desire. And it's so important that you understand that when you ask, it is given. But there is a balancing act that you are accomplishing, because it's not just asking with words, and it's not just asking with life experience. It's contouring your expectation so that you let what you have asked for in, which means so that you find yourself in a place where you are perceptually aware of what's going on around you, but even more, you are viscerally aware of what you are doing vibrationally. You figured out, and we'll talk about it, how to balance the energy between your desire and your belief. Because if you desire something that you doubt, there's no balancing going on. If you desire something that you are annoyed because it has not yet come, there's no balance in your vibration. And so the attraction that you are about is a lopsided, not working very well for you attraction, because only half of it is there. You want it, but you don't believe it. So if you want something and you don't believe, you're calling it and pushing it away at the same time. That's what causes stress and tension. That's what every negative emotion is about. In these days that we are together, it is our desire that you figure out, and we'll talk until you do, that you figure out how to balance your desire and your belief so that you come to expectation of what you are asking for. So that you come to realize consciously that you are a powerful creator here with magnificent intent and purpose, with so many resources at your fingertips and so much non-physical assistance flowing to you. Sometimes it's like you have your shield up, a sort of umbrella of sorts that is keeping you from receiving the very thing that you're asking for. Sometimes you think that when you've asked for it, that it should just drop right into your experience. I want it, boom, there it is. And we say, not as much fun in that as you think. You just think that there is fun in that because you have been annoyed at the long lag time between asking and receiving. But you do not have to develop patience once you get the hang of this. Instead, you will find yourself enjoying the unfolding of your desire. You'll find yourself enjoying witnessing your receptivity, witnessing your receiving the thought, witnessing receiving an impulse, witnessing being wise enough to follow that impulse, and then witnessing a positive result of following that impulse. You're going to feel like you have your own hands in your own clay, because you do. But you're going to be pleased with what you are molding. You're going to be pleased, yes, with the outcome. Yes, with the physical manifestation. Yes, that is sure to come. We're not trying to talk you out of your physical manifestations, but we want to talk you into a happy journey along the way. We want you to feel the exhilaration of being ready, to be ready, to be ready, to be ready, to be ready. And we want you to revel in your newfound everyday capacity to be ready for more. We want you to realize that anything you desire is already coming to you. Attraction is what this is all about. Attraction, there is no assertion. But you see, a really wonderful wonderful thing is happening for you. A really, really, really wonderful thing is happening for you. Such a wonderful thing is happening for you. Because you are here in these bodies, but you're not here only as you, as your human self. Your inner being, your source energy, is here with you, flowing to you and through you, and is a big part. We want you to hear this. We've not said this to you before, but it's time for you to know this, to understand this, and to expect good things as a result of your knowing of it. Your inner being has a point of attraction too. Your inner being has a point of attraction too. And while your inner being cannot throw something to you, your inner being cannot assert something into your experience, when you ask for it, your inner being, who is a part of you, can hold the knowing of what you're asking for in such clear awareness that your point of attraction becomes more vivid and more powerful because you have asked. Do you get that? Did you hear what we just said? So now what that means is, now that you've asked and your inner being is holding vibrational awareness of what you want, and law of attraction is responding to the attraction that your inner being has going on, now a really interesting thing is happening to you. Because you're summoning, and your inner being is summoning too, but you have your own free will of your own free thoughts, and you can think thoughts that block that if you choose to. Now most of you would say, I would never do that, because you do it every day. Because every subject is really two subjects. And sometimes you think you're thinking about the money that you desire when you're focused upon not enough of it. Or you think about the lover that you are summoning, but you're focused upon the absence of that lover. In other words, sometimes you are thinking thoughts, you, human adorable, human you, you're thinking thoughts that are vibrationally inconsistent or vibrationally resistant to what you have asked for and what is being summoned to you by that larger part of you. You understand that in a new way just now, don't you? Don't you? We can start over. So now your inner being is on the case. Now your inner being is holding vibrational accord with what you're asking for. And now your work is so simple. Your work is just to think thoughts that match the desire rather than its absence. To say words that match the desire rather than its absence. To tell the story of what you are creating rather than the story of the reason of why you are creating. As you stand in justification of why you need that, you block it. And every time you block it, you ask for it in a stronger way. So the point of attraction of your inner being summons energy to it more, but if you block it, you feel worse and worse. And a sort of tension sets up within you that you describe as negative emotion. Negative emotion is your clue or your key that you are doing what we just described. Because it is always true. When you ask, it is always given. When you ask, it is always given. The question that we want you to discover the answer to in the days that we are together is that when you ask and it is given, what are you doing about it? Are you receiving it? Or are you blocking it with your awareness of the current reality that doesn't contain it? That's what trips you up the most, you know. You're focused upon what you think is what is. So if you ask for something that you think isn't, and your awareness is that it isn't rather than it is, as you focus upon the isn't-ness of what we know as the is-ness, then you block it. You don't let it come. And then you complain. This isn't working for me, when it is. It always is. So, as a result of our time together, you'll do less of that from now on. It really helps to understand the laws of the universe. It really helps to know that law of attraction is responding to your thought. Law of attraction is responding to you. You get what you think about, whether you want it or not. You strike balance sometimes with things you don't even want, just by giving so much attention to them. So, And we are eager about what you're living. We are eager about what's coming to you and through you. We appreciate more than you can hear with these words your willingness to participate not just in this gathering, but in the gathering of life experience. Such a nice thing to be on the leading edge, where all that is flowing forward into new experience. We want you to feel all of us here with you. We've got you outnumbered. And we want you to relax in the knowledge that life is supposed to be good to you. Life is supposed to be fun for you. It'll be nice as you return moment by moment by moment to your conscious awareness of your own worthiness. To be on the leading edge together for the purpose of co-creation. So we're eager to visit with you today. We want to help you to understand that the laws of physics that you understand, like the law of gravity, which is consistent, you don't have to go to a school about gravity. They don't say to you in your first days in school, if you don't come to this class, you could fall up. Many children are missing. Because the law is consistent. It works the same for everyone. And you learn to utilize the law to your advantage. And the law of attraction is such a law. It is utterly consistent. It never makes an exception and it never makes a mistake. So you have to figure out how to work within the laws of the universe. We cannot talk about the law of attraction without introducing to the subject momentum, because law of attraction is the reason that momentum exists. When you give your attention to something for as little as 17 seconds, at that 17-second point, there is a momentum that is discernible as another thought like it joins it, and so forth. So the more you focus, the more momentum. But the most important thing to understand about the way momentum works is that when you are sleeping, you have a reprieve of the momentum. In other words, your beliefs are in suspension while you sleep, which means the momentum of them, the law of attraction momentum of them, is slow to non-existent depending upon how well you are sleeping. So what that means is, when you awaken in the morning, you have the opportunity to reestablish, if you want to, a vibrational starting point that law of attraction will begin to respond to right away. Now, usually when you wake up in the morning, you remember what you were thinking about yesterday, or more important, you re-achieve the emotional feeling place of what you were feeling yesterday. It's like, oh yeah, I remember I'm not happy. Or, oh yeah, I remember I'm lonely. I'm lonely now. Or, oh yeah, I remember I'm confused. But what we want you to realize is that you don't have to be the same lonely today that you were yesterday, because that night's sleep changed the momentum. But when you wake up in the morning and you deliberately, and you do, call those same people, talk about those same things, focus in the same ways, you reactivate your vibration much as it was before, but you do not have to do that. And that is the most important thing. We want you to realize that you are at a new starting point in every moment. But it is unlikely for you to begin to think all new thoughts when you wake up. Some of you have suggested a lobotomy. We don't recommend it, because there are many things that you believe that are serving you really well. You just want to become a better sifter. You want to become a better discerner. You want to become better at caring about how you feel, and then focusing in ways that accomplish that. If we can, in some way, offer enough words don't teach, and analogies, words don't teach, and conversation, words don't teach. We've enjoyed this interaction immensely. That if we can offer enough that will to stimulate within you the awareness that your point of attraction is everything, because you are the center of your universe, and that you are the perceiver of it, which means you are the vibrational interpreter of it. You translate your vibration into the reality that you are living, into what you are seeing and hearing and smelling and tasting and touching. If we can convince you that since all those things are true, that the only thing that matters to you is how you feel. If you can leave this room with a new determination within you that you now, more than ever before, care about how you feel and mean to do something about soothing yourself. Esther was on an airplane last week, going from Boston back to San Antonio. And there was a beautiful family sitting in front of her, a mother and a child about 6 years old, and two little twin boys who were about 2, maybe, if even. They were walking, sort of kind of talking. And they were all strapped into their 4 seats. And Esther was sitting right behind the mother. And when the airplane took off, one of the little boys, across the aisle from his mother, was terrified. It was probably his first flight, and the roar of the engine, the sound of the machine, the feeling of it on the runway, he was hysterical. And he wasn't spoiled. He was hysterical. He was frightened. It was a new experience, and the power of the airplane scared him. His mother and the flight attendants looking right at his mother like, do not get out of your seat. Do not get out of your seat. And Esther's thinking, if I were that mother, I would be out of my seat now. So the airplane got in the air, and once it was stable, long after Esther thought it was stable, the flight attendant gave her the knowing nod, like, now that your child is out of oxygen. So now, Mother moved over into his seat and held him tight in her arms, just tight in her arms, kissing the back of his head and holding him tight in her arms. And gradually he settled down. watched that, and she said to her friend sitting next to her, I want to do that with everyone on the planet. I want them to sit on my lap, and I want to hold them in my arms, and I want to say, it's okay. It's okay. Everything's okay. Everything's okay. Everything's okay. She wants to do it to herself. She wants to soothe herself of attraction that allows her what she wants and deserves. She wants you to be soothed into a point of attraction that allows you what you want and deserve, because that is the only missing factor. How you feel. How you feel. If you're terrified, if you're angry, if you're resentful, if you're depressed, if you're aggravated, if you're overwhelmed, those negative emotions are you beating up on you. Now, it doesn't feel like that to you. It feels like somebody else is doing it. Esther was pretty mad for a minute at the flight attendant who was just doing her job. But it made Esther want, with everything that she is, to just make sure that she takes care of feeling good. In other words, someone asked us the best question that has ever been asked a few weeks ago. And the question was, Abraham, how do you get rid of doubt? And we said, you get rid where it starts, which was so annoying. Because when you're in the middle of it, that answer doesn't apply. How do I get rid of it where it starts when I've already got it? And we say, well, eventually you're going to sleep, and you're going to get up tomorrow, and tomorrow you're going to soothe yourself better so that doubt never gets started. Doubt will never get a foothold if you're watching what you're doing. So Esther began applying that to herself. She woke up every morning with a determination that she was going to find a good feeling place and that she was going to maintain it as long as she could. And for the first day, she didn't even get out of bed before it was too late. The second day, it was better. The third day, she didn't make it through breakfast. In other words, it took quite a while of Esther caring more about how she felt than tending to emails, caring more about how she felt than tending to what was going on with other people. In other words, you've got to put yourself first. You've got to be so selfish. You have to care about how you feel, which means you have to tend to the self that you really are. You've got to find a way of closing that gap between who you're being right now and who you really are. And who you really are loves you so much, adores you, appreciates everything that you are, flows constantly to you, assisting you in every possible way. Last week, Esther came bouncing up the steps, and the step wasn't stable. When she stepped on it, it caved in, and her foot went between the step and the stage. Scraped up her shin, she stumbled onto the stage. It was funny. It was really funny. And Esther thought, for the life of me, I do not know how I went down. So Esther has a dear friend who sees energy. She always comes to the seminars in the city where she lives and sits in the back of the room because she not only likes to see the energy around Abraham, she liked to see the energy around Jerry when he was sitting at the table and the energy around you. She could actually see who was all lighted up. She knows who Abraham is likely to call on because she can read this energy. So after every workshop, she watches all of the live streams. She sends Esther an email, and she says, yeah, Jerry walked on the stage with you. And Esther says, yeah, I know. I can feel him there. And then she said, he caught you last week. And Esther thought, that's why I didn't fall down. It didn't make sense to me. I didn't have my balance. I didn't have anything close to my balance. But I didn't go down. This is the thing that we want you to understand. We've got you. But if you're not knowing that, if you're mad at yourself, then you don't let us get you. You prevent yourself from receiving the inspiration. Do you know when you yawn? That's because you need more oxygen, and we yawn you. All of you are receivers, you see. How often are you in traffic and you know to do something that prevents something that... How many things do you prevent that you don't even know you prevent? So many, because you're receiving constant impulses. You are so blessed. You are so tended to We are so aware of you, and you are so in your own way so much of the time as you're complaining about this and worrying about that. Watching CNN. So, we want you to know that you are the focal point of so much awareness. And that when you ask for something, we all know it. And we see clearly the path for you to move from where you are to where you want to be. And you know what? You want it to be a direct path. We don't. We want you to have fun along the way to the path. We want you to pick up more things along your physical trail along the path. We want you to gain more clarity along the path. We want you to continue to feel your vortex full of more things that you want along the path. Because you know why? It's a very long path. You know why? It's a path of eternity. So you keep being in such a hurry to get over there. I really want to be over there. I'm not happy over here. Then you're not ever going to get over there. Can't get over there. Can't get there from here. If you're unhappy over here about what's over there that you don't have over here, you can't get over there. So what we want you to understand is that it's never about getting over there. It's about preparing over here so that over there can come over here where you are. Did you get that? Because this is about law of attraction. This isn't about law of assertion. It's not law of getting things done. It's not of proving worthiness. It's a law of attraction. It's about you finding some way to think some sort of thought, to get on, to hold yourself on your own lap and soothe yourself. I am a good person, and I am doing well, and all is really well, and it's getting better. And I am figuring this out, and things are going my way. And I'm getting clearer every day, and I'm having fun in the process of doing this. And I'm understanding the creative process, and I know that this is a universe based upon attraction, and I know about vibration, and I know what I'm doing with vibration. I'm getting better at it every day, and there's evidence every day that lets me know that. As you soothe yourself, as you do something about tending to your point of attraction, which is all that matters, because everything else is already done, you see. It's like sometimes, but just give you a sort of analogy. You've asked for it, and you're summoning it, but you've got your shield up, you've got your umbrella up, old style. You've got your umbrella up, and everything that you want is flying to you, but you're deflecting it with your habits of thought, with your bogus, ridiculous habits of thought, like unworthiness, or unreadiness, or not in the right placeness, or being mad at somebody else. So, we're eager to talk with you about whatever is important to you. Nothing is off limits. You will notice a perfect unfold in the way this all comes together.